Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Sports for a World Rankings update. A very interesting weekend of rugby in the last couple of days in the Autumn Nations series. And as a result, we have a very new look World Rankings with only one team, that being France, not moving either up or down within the top 10 of the men's World Rankings. So, an incredible weekend of rugby, incredible weekend of results. And for the African fans, good news. We are back to number one in the world with more than a 1 point difference as well. Ahead of New Zealand, actually, you're down to second place. Other big movements. See England dropping, Italy dropping almost out of the top 10. You got Fiji rising, and lots of very interesting games now coming up because world rankings are basically done on your opposition every week, and your opposition depends on where they are with regards to the rankings, and especially in relation to you. It then factors in a home weighting and away weighting, and then there's also a factor of whether you win or lose by 15 points or more. So, for example, the fact that we're not playing England, we were going to get fewer ranking points this week playing against them, and if they had won, and they were further up the rankings. So, this is where it becomes quite difficult to sort of sometimes retain a top spot when you're not playing against, top five opposition. Before we look at the rankings, please do smash the like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right after this weekend, this is what the rankings now look like. As mentioned, South Africa back to number one in the world, up from second place. Ireland have actually gone down to third. And New Zealand, who were in third, have leapfrogged them into second place. So we've got a new top three. South Africa top, then New Zealand, and then Ireland. And look, Ireland, imagine it this weekend. I think they'll bounce back. But they all of a sudden began playing against Argentina, who are up to fifth in the world, which I think is about right, actually. I think this Argentina side's really good. I think Contepone has got them playing really, really well. And I think that if they pitch up this weekend, I think they can give a genuine go against the Irish. And that makes it quite interesting because you've got Ireland versus Argentina on Friday, so 3 versus 5. And Ireland, for example, now dropping from one down to third, means that they actually could gain more ranking points by beating Argentina because they're not supposed to dominate them as much as if they were at number one, if that makes sense in terms of getting the number of points. And you've got New Zealand taking on France. So New Zealand has a big opportunity to try and make some movements on South Africa, who will be playing against England, who are down in seventh place, down from fifth, where there won't actually be that much opportunity for the Boks to really move, given the fact that England are as low down as seventh. And even more issues for the Boks to try and gain points is the week after playing against Wales, who currently do not even sit in the top 10 of the rankings. So going through it, so South Africa, New Zealand, Ireland, all sitting in 90 points. They're quite clear on top of those top three. You then got France quite a distance back, almost 4 full ranking points behind Ireland in fourth place. Argentina in fifth place. But if Argentina were to, for example, beat Ireland, they could rocket up the rankings, probably go ahead of France, especially if France were to lose to New Zealand. You then got Scotland, who are up from seventh up until sixth place. They will have overtaken their Six Nation compatriots in England, who've dropped down 2 points. Australia up from ninth up until eighth. They could have actually dropped out of the top 10 with the wrong results in the past couple of weeks. Fiji up from 10th into 9th, and Italy down from 8th, which I think was actually an all-time high for them, into 10th. So when you look at the world rankings, for example, I know a lot of people don't pay that much attention, and there's lots of reasons for that. Obviously, there's no trophy, for example, that comes with it and the likes, but I always look at the world rankings, and the way I like to look at it is, do we think it reflects genuinely what the current rugby landscape is? And I don't think that is awfully far away from where we are. I do think South Africa, New Zealand, Ireland, and then France to a certain degree are the top 4 sides in the world. France, I think, haven't been quite consistent in terms of being able to select teams to travel and the likes. So that's why they kind of always sometimes struggle in the world rankings. But I do think the top 3 sides in the world are probably South Africa, New Zealand, and Ireland, which is what reflects in the world rankings. South Africa world champions, beat Ireland once, lost to Ireland, but beat New Zealand twice. So, they've won 3 out of 4 games against the other top 2 nations, apart from they're in the top 3, and therefore sit top. New Zealand have beaten Ireland, therefore they sit above them. So I think the top 3 is pretty accurate. After that, France haven't lost that many games, so kind of quite comfortably in fourth. But Argentina have been good. They lost to Australia, but they've also pumped Australia. They also beat New Zealand this year. They also beat South Africa. So I do think that they should, be in that sort of fifth place. I do think they are probably the fifth best side in the world. Scotland and England are paying for their inconsistency at the moment. England, on their day, can give New Zealand a go, but they've also now lost to New Zealand as well as Australia, and therefore dropping down. And Australia now all of a sudden right behind England. So you look at 7 and 8 and how close of a game this weekend was. There looks quite accurate with regards to sort of the world rankings and the likes. Fiji beating Wales, above, currently sitting above Italy, for example. So I don't think it's, you're looking at that, and I don't think it's awfully far away from what we actually, I think, the rankings are with regards to your top teams in the world. But let me know what you think. The main thing for South Africa is to stay at number one. It might not matter from a trophy perspective, but it's always nice to be sitting at the top of the world rankings, especially when it comes to draws, for example, and when they happen for the World Cup, which thankfully will take place a lot closer to the World Cup than last time, which is why we had a South Africa, Scotland, and Ireland in one group at the World Cup. Only two of them able to regress. Always still feel sorry for Scotland, who had a generational side that got picked in the worst possible pool and didn't progress. And I think other sides who didn't deserve to progress, did get the opportunity. But what do you think of those rankings down in the comments below, as well as any sort of other movement you think might happen in the next few weeks? Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.